Greetings and thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and today we're featuring a couple of just great Little Richard mid-50s concert posters that are so busy. These posters are almost as busy as the concerts themselves were, probably. Both made by the famous Globe Poster Company out of Baltimore, Maryland. So I have one from '56 and one from '57 to show you. We're going to start first with the 1956 one, which is also the more colorful one. Just an awesome, awesome looking concert poster with fantastic eye appeal. Take a look at this top to bottom scan. Monday, November 5, '56, Chattanooga, Tennessee. And there's the poster from top to bottom. I'm going to go through the acts here in just a second, but the man, the headliner, just like he always is when he's in a room, even when he's in a room with the Beatles, is Little Richard. And he dominates this poster, and he's, he's, I guess you'd say the biggest legend, so we tend to pay attention to Little Richard. But this poster has so much going for it, it's just amazing. It's got a ton of bright, splashy color, obviously. It is a tour blank, which means the Chattanooga information up in the top there in blue ink was printed in just for this show, and theoretically posters were made for every other stop on the tour, with different show times and cities and so forth, and dates, of course. It also has song titles for most of the artists, pictures of them, of course, and even their record labels in many cases, which is really fun. I'll show you just with Little Richard, for example. There you have underneath the song titles, Specialty Records, and on Big Joe Turner you have Atlantic Records. See that? That's really neat. That's a nice added touch. I know record collectors really get a kick out of that, but any music collector would really, find that a nice bonus, added value, if you will, for an old concert poster. So Little Richard was red hot at the time. His both Ready Teddy and Rip It Up are mentioned near his photo and near his name, and that was a big two-sided #1 R&B hit for Little Richard. It only went top 20 pop, but Little Richard had his influence on the pop world, including the Beatles. No question about that. But it's kind of funny how both Ready Teddy and Rip It Up are mentioned, but then so is the misspelled Heebie-Jeebie. See that? That's really funny. It says it's got 4 words on it, Heebie-Jeebie, for Little Richard. Well, the real song title was Heebie-Jeebies, like She Gives Me the Heebie-Jeebies, right? So it's kind of funny when they misspell a song so dramatically. Heebie-Jeebies didn't touch the pop charts at all, but was top 10 R&B, and Little Richard, even though he was influencing rock and roll left, right, and center, was strongest on the R&B charts in the 50s in this time of his career. Now, right across from Little Richard here is Bill Doggett. If you haven't heard of Bill Doggett before, you've probably heard his hit record Honky Tonk, which was just a monster. Sort of wondering why Bill Doggett, Honky Tonk was his only hit so far. I think his only big hit, actually. And why does he get such top billing along with, Little Richard and above Big Joe Turner? That's crazy. Well, it's possible because Honky Tonk was a super hit, I guess you could say, #1 for 3 months, R&B, that summer. And also, Bill Doggett brought quite a pedigree to the show and credibility with having credits before working with Louis Jordan, Ella Fitzgerald, and Louis Armstrong. So he got his due up there at the top of the poster. And you would, if you can't put your finger on Honky Tonk, as soon as you heard it, you would recognize it because it's become sort of, modern day, dare I say it, elevator music and everything else. Just one of those very familiar melodies. Now, speaking of Big Joe Turner, there he is right there in the center. And see how it says lipstick, powder, and paint? That was his 17th consecutive top 10 rhythm and blues hit at this point. So what the heck? Bill Doggett 1 hit? Big Joe Turner 17 in a row, and he said, but I think, we tend to put too much emphasis today on, stars' egos and billing order, where I think back then the artist, the poster artist, also leaned on things like just what looked good, visually and stuff. So, and Big Joe Turner, I can't believe it, he never had a top 40 pop hit, ever. That's crazy. But he did do the original version of Shake, Rattle, and Roll, and he's a slam dunk inductee to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In fact, then we go with the 5 keys in the next row, and we have another here, member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame members, the Moonglows. And then we have the next row down. I mentioned the 5 keys. There's Etta James, doesn't even warrant a picture, 17 years old, Etta James. And it's interesting, they put a song title there that went nowhere. They could have put The Wallflower under Etta's name, or above Etta's name, where is it, above her name. because the Wallflower was just #1 for a whole month the year before. That's right, when she was 16. But nope, they decided to plug her new single instead, which in this case was Tough Lover. They decided to try to sell records instead of tickets, and the record went nowhere. It didn't even chart, but that's always sort of a fun little, thing to observe with these multi-act concert posters in the 1950s. In fact, same with Faye Adams. Here they are saying, "Don't forget to smile." Well, Faye was smiling at the time because she had 3 hits that spent 16 weeks at #1 on the R&B chart. They didn't mention them, they just mentioned "Don't Forget to Smile," her new single. Although, actually they do say the "Shake a Hand Girl," so in a way that's mentioning "Shake a Hand," which was the biggest of those 3 hits. I got kind of excited at first when I saw the Robins are on here too, because that was the original name of the Coasters, and I was thinking, wow, another Rock and Roll Hall of Fame outfit on this great poster. But alas, the 2 members of the Coasters that came from the Robins had left the year before in 1955, so this was sort of the leftover skeleton of the Robins on this poster. And then you have, honking his horn down there at the bottom, Big J McNeely and his band or orchestra, they choose to say, and his big band here, on Atlantic Records. Big J, he was playing the San Fernando Valley as recently as 2010 and stuff, I believe. He's passed, he's left us now, but he was really a mainstay for a long, long time. So, one more thing about this poster. Monday, November 5. See that? Yeah. Whoops. Monday, November 5. On this date, Monday, November 5, in 1956, this very night, there must have been some real R&B fans or black music fans, whatever you want to say, just music fans, sort of torn between going to the show and watching television, because on this very night, on this Monday night, the Nat King Cole Show, debuted on national network television, and Cole was the first black host of a major network variety show. So they had chances to see it in subsequent weeks, but the very first broadcast was the same night as this concert. That's way cool.